far as tonight's concerned, we saw Phil was the first off. Is he in net, and then what other changes to the line, or is it kind of the same?
Yeah, no, Groovy's in net. Same 6D, same 12 forwards. We'll have some changes to some of the combinations, but same 6 and same 12.
Well, like when you're looking at different combinations throughout this whole thing, like what are those things that like you look for? Is it like the energy and pace guys play with? Is it more about functionality at this point? What would you say it is?
No, there's different things to look at in terms of how the pieces of a line fit together. There's obviously the chemistry together that you can have in order to provide some offense is important. Also, the different defensive pieces that are on each line are also important. That can change decision-wise depending on who you're playing as well.
How much of a strain do you think it's been for the guys just playing from behind constantly and just like from the mental aspect?
Well, it's I guess I can't speak to the mental strain or the mental aspect. I can speak to the results aspect. It's difficult to play from behind in this league. I've spoke to that before, but a lot of discussion and warranted discussion in terms of starts for fast starts versus slow starts. That's not always just dictated by the first goal of the game. It's dictated by the rhythm of that first 10 minutes, that first 20 minutes, as much as, who scores the first goal of the game. In evaluating that, it's more about, overall readiness and being able to have a good start to a hockey game in terms of the first 20 minutes. Trailing after one has not been a good formula for us. We know that. So that's the discussion for me.
Dave, you talked on Friday about wanting to sort of look things over, review them, and then be honest with each other, with the team. Sort of after these sort of last, 36 hours or so since then, what have those conversations been like between the coaching staff and the players about sort of that honesty and what you picked up in the review process?
Yeah, just that. I mean, the game doesn't look any different when, some nights it does when you go back and look at it, from start to finish, by reviewing it by video. But nor did I expect it to look any different. There was a stretch of 5-6 games when we came back to this building off of our first road trip, where we had mixed results, but to my thinking, and everybody in our dressing room would have been very proud of the standard that we had set during those games. Results aside, the way we played, how hard we played, connected and battling hard through those games. The game the other night, that's not one that we could say we were proud of the standard that we set through that 60 minutes. That's what it looked like on tape as well.
How many of you guys have responded to that? Either their work ethic this morning, or just what they're saying to each other in the locker room? Are they responding in a way that you would like to see them respond?
Yeah, it's about what we do, how we carry that on the ice tonight, and the resiliency that we show through the 60 minutes tonight. There's going to be ups and downs through this game. So as much as it's about the response yesterday and today and morning skate, it's more about the response that you have to different situations through the 60 minutes tonight. The work ethic and the preparation of this team has been good. It was good a couple days ago. We've been able to refresh ourselves coming off of a tough loss. I really credit the guys in the room for that, to be able to clear the mind, coming into the game. We need to take that, that extra step. Everything's not going to go smoothly tonight. We play a good hockey team. There's going to be ups and downs, and there is in every hockey game. So, what we'll be looking for tonight is our response, both to, the good momentum swings, as well as, some of the tougher momentum swings that come at us, and just our reaction on the spot to that.
Dave,
that makes sense to you? I'm trying to really get to the heart of your question on that.
Dave, you talked about making sure there was some defensive balance in the forward lines, and you've mentioned the forward responsibility and some of the breakdowns that have happened. Can you just speak to what you really want to see from a forward defensively in terms of their role? It's not really a defenseman, but what are you looking for there?
Well, we're a team that's, it's talked, early on, we talked a lot as we were going through our scoring struggles. We have to be comfortable in a 2-1 game, in a 3-2 game. We haven't looked like a team that's been looking to complete a 60-minute 3-2 win of late. We've been You know, and it's natural, right? Because, you know, again, players want to go out and help. They want to go out and accomplish something. We've been slanted too far that way. You know, even maybe the best example is the other night early in a hockey game. We're working really hard, and it's an effort play. But the penalty that we take 200 feet from our net that results ultimately, you know, in putting one of the top power play units in the league on the power play, that's a little bit of the mentality that I'm speaking to. We want to push hard, but we also have to be real smart in the way we're playing with the right mentality. That, you know, we're going to use 60 minutes to win a close hockey game.
You mentioned trailing after one not being a good formula for you. When that has happened, is that something guys can seep into guys' psyche or mentality, or are they just focused on that game that night? It doesn't matter when it passes.
Yeah, probably a little bit different for everybody, but I mean, over time, yeah, no question. I believe it can stick with you. We don't have that option though. You know, for us to be able to push out of this, you know, those things, you know, turn really quickly. But you have to get over the hump one time. You know, and again, I'll liken that to, you know, a lot of the discussion 2-3 weeks ago was about our scoring or lack thereof. Scoring hasn't been a problem of late. We're scoring at better than league average, right? So, you know, you have to focus on the right things in order to, you know, push past some of the roadblocks that are in the way. So, you know, again, that's part of my, you know, what I meant by the reaction in real time during the game, rather than, you know, having time to think about our reaction 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours later. It's the real time reaction and push back for our hockey team that's really important.
Hey, Dave, I know you don't like to talk too much about the opponent, but is it a good thing tonight to be able to have matchups with a line like Washington has?
Sorry, say that one more time. The matchups, like which matchups?
The top line of Washington, and you be able to defend against that group.
Yeah, well, that's a heavy group, right? And every line looks a little bit different. There's certainly much more than a one line show up front. You know, the line in particular you're talking about it's obviously a big, heavy line with one of the greatest scorers in the game. That's that's a part of it. But this team is deep. When you look through. You look through their lines and you look through, I mean, they always list the line as their fourth line, but that's a real effective line that they trust. And when you look at the way this team plays, they make it hard to generate offense, and they consistently just keep coming at you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.